seen?
Um, I have two,
Okay.
but um, but you do as like many as you want, right? Do
Okay.
I? Yeah, I. Sorry, now I can't
I'll
even
have.
remember.
No, that's all right. I'll have. I can have two as well.
Um, there was.
I could do three.
Yeah, do three.
Okay.
Okay. So then you'll start, right? And then I'll sandwich you. And then
Okay.
so I'll start, then you, then me, then you. Wait.
We'll
Yeah.
flip that back and forth.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly. Oh, we're recording already. Okay. So 3, 2, 1. I haven't done this in a while. All right. 3, 2, 1. Hello. Welcome everyone back to the Hollywood Persona podcast. My name is Mitch Burns, and I am here with Steve Rice. Today, we are going to talk about some movies we've seen, and then we're going to talk about some killer animal movies. Because last week, not in the last episode, it's been a couple weeks because we'll get to that. But last episode, I was assigned Kingdom of the Spiders from 1971, I think it is. And so that's one of the ones I'm going to be talking about today. And so, yeah. And what else are we doing here? And then we're going to talk about, killer animal I'm off my game here, Steve. Killer animal movies. And we're going to talk about what we've seen. First off, I guess we'll just say I have also released the first episode of my other podcast, which has been in the works for quite a while. It's called The Film Vaulters. I did the first episode with Florence. Basically, we are a film vault after show, and we're basically I'm going to talk to a different person involved with the film vault every week. I'm gonna have them every like 2 or 3 weeks. They're not going to be a weekly thing, so but keep eyes out for that. I will obviously post on some of the Film Vault social medias whenever a new episode is out. You can always join the Film Vault Facebook fan page too. I post a lot in there. Um, and obviously they're on Instagram and Facebook and everything. uh Reddit, we have our Reddit page over there on the Film Vault. But this is the Hollywood Persona. This is my other podcast with Mr. Steve Rice. How you doing, Steve?
I'm doing fantastic. How are you?
I'm great.
You're like the busiest guy in Canada. You're busier than hockey players.
I know. And well, I mean, I'm not the busiest guy in Canada, but I have like all my lists coming out soon, and the amount of work I put into that is stupid. Stupid. I've just been working like crazy on that. So if you follow the Hollywood Persona on Instagram or Facebook, you will see a lot of that
Okay.
coming soon. It's going to be my end of year lists. And that's the other thing I wanted to talk about is the Academy Awards were announced. I don't know how much of a Academy Award man you are, Steve.
I am. I love the monologue,
Yeah,
and I always hang around because they always do. I think it's best supporting actress
yeah,
is the
like
first
right.
one.
Well, they switch every year from between supporting actor and supporting actress. So
Yeah, and then
yeah,
it gets kind of boring
yeah,
after
until the
that,
end.
until
But
the end, until the
but
last
that's
hour.
like 11 o'clock at night.
Yeah.
Um, so I'm just gonna the 95th Academy Awards. So they're gonna be on March 12th this year. And there were 10 films nominated for Best Picture. I'll just go over them quickly, even though most of our listeners probably know. All Quiet on the Western Front, that is streaming on Netflix now. It is a good, very good war movie, a remake. I didn't expect it to be nominated for Best Picture, but really, I'm happy it did because I think it's one of the best war movies we've had in a while. And then Avatar: The Way of Water is in theaters now. I'm going to kind of talk a little bit today of my review of that because I have seen that. Oh, no, wait. Yeah, I haven't talked about it yet. Or have I? You know what? I'm not going to talk about it. And then The Banshees of Inisherin, which I love. It will be somewhere among my top 3 of the year for sure. And then Elvis, I also really liked. Everything Everywhere All at Once. Steve was confused.
I was confused. I bailed after 35 minutes, thought I would go back and watch it when I really need to concentrate. And I haven't done it yet because I caught a clip of it and I'm like, I still don't know what's going on. And maybe I'm just dumb.
I'm gonna fly over there and sit down with you and we watch it together.
I need a partner during this one.
Oh my gosh. The Fablemans, which is, you know, it's a good movie. I didn't exactly love it. Tar, I really enjoyed that. My parents watched it the other night. They didn't get it. Top Gun Maverick, Triangle of Sadness, and Women Talking, which is the only one I still need to see. It comes to my area this weekend, which I am really excited about. So take a look at, if anybody wants to see that, take a look at your theaters, and because I think it's going even wider this weekend after the nomination it received. But that's all I'll go through. I have the full list over on the Hollywood Persona and some of my thoughts. Some of the people I'm really happy that got nominated. A lot of first-time nominees that I absolutely love, like Carrie Condon and Hong Chow and Andrea Riseborough. Some of my favorite actors over the last few years who are finally getting some recognition. So Steve is going to talk about the first movie today. I think that's all I had to talk about. Any other business news?
Not that I know of.
No, we are gonna keep doing these every week. Sorry, we kind of took some time off, but I also was kind of working on getting everything ready for the Film Vaulters, but now that I have both going, I think it'll be a little smoother. And yeah, so Steven, let's go.
Steven, wow.
I know.
Official. It's like I'm back in 5th grade.
Stephen Rice, come to the front of the class, please.
Yes, it's Steven with a PH too, by the way.
You know what? I was actually about to ask that, but then I'm like, how deep are we gonna get on Steven's name?
I don't care. You could call me Clyde. I don't give a shit.
All right, Clyde, what have you seen lately?
I was entertained one snowy afternoon here because it snowed like maybe a quarter of an inch, but it was snowing.
Yeah.
And
I will post a picture tomorrow of how much it snowed here.
Wow. Did you get a ton?
Oh yeah. And but it looks it's not to derail you, sorry.
No, not at all.
But it looks beautiful. So like, because it's at the beginning, you know, give it a month and it'll just be slushy, gross, disgusting, we're all sick of it kind of weather. But anyways, continue.
So when did it hit you? Did it hit you today?
No.
Because we had a huge storm that rolled through yesterday here. And it started out as snow and then it hit and immediately hit rain.
So what are we on today? Today's Thursday?
Yeah.
So Tuesday we got it. Yeah, which was and we got a lot. Like we have a long driveway, so we had to plow, you know, the whole driveway and move my car 2 inches and didn't leave the house just so I could.
Jealous.
Yeah.
Very jealous. I love the snow. But
well,
anyway,
I always say to people who don't live in Canada that they say that until you live in Canada, and I really don't think you would like. I like the snow too, and like there are people who do love the snow, but I also don't do a lot of outdoor skiing or activities and stuff
Right.
like that. So if you do that, then obviously you like the snow a little bit better. But
Yeah, well,
anyways,
I don't look like the athletic type to you, do I?
well, neither do I. Like,
We back in 2008, I believe it was, or 2009, one of them.
I was
We got
18.
hit. We got hit here in the Philadelphia area with 3 storms within 10 days,
Wow.
and each of them were 20 inches or more.
Wow.
Yeah, it was ridiculous. It was. I mean, once you finally dug yourself out, then you got bombed again.
Yeah. Yeah, that's and I don't know how well equipped your state is on, you know what I mean? Every state's different, like by how much, and I've heard varying stories, like Texas gets like this much and school everything's closed. They don't know how to handle it. So it all depends, I guess, right?
Yeah, I have a friend that lived up here for 25 years of her life, and then she moved to Georgia, and they get
Georgia?
3/4 of an inch, and the entire state shuts down. There's cars left on the highway for like 12 hours.
Oh.
You know,
See, here we like when the schools the schools will close down, but everything else obviously stays open no matter what it's like. And the parents are like pissed that the schools get closed down, right? Because then they have to find someone to watch their kids and blah blah blah. So it's funny, like we have people like, why are we closing everything down? What's going on? And so I
gotcha.
will. Okay, first movie. What were you entertained by on
First
snow
movie I
day?
was entertained by. I saw it once, and I thought, oh, I should watch that again. And it was, what, 5 years later, I watched Baby Driver. Fantastic movie.
Mm-hmm.
Now, would you consider this a heist movie?
Yeah, I haven't seen it since it was in theaters, but definitely a heist movie.
Yeah, John Hamm, Kevin Spacey, Jamie Foxx.
Yep.
They're doing different jobs,
Hmm.
but the soundtrack is incredible. And I
Oh
said
yeah.
before on this show that how much I love heist movies. They're my favorite kinds of movies.
Hmm.
And the tension, and you see that this kid has something going on where he always has to have headphones in.
Yeah.
He always has to hear his music, and I won't ruin it for anybody. Are we outside that range? 5 years.
Yeah, I mean, I don't remember what you're gonna ruin, but
Well, I mean, he was in a car accident.
right. I think he has tinnitus or something.
Yeah, something with
Yeah,
his ears,
and
and
it helps drown it out. I don't
it
think that's a
drowns out.
spoiler.
Yeah, okay, it drowns out the sound of the sound in his ears, so he listens
Yeah.
to music, and he always has to have the right song on, and he's a phenomenal driver. He's always the wheelman. He's always the getaway driver, and he has to have the best song on. He's got a list of them, but he won't move the car unless that song is playing.
Right.
And it's just so good,
Yeah.
so good. It's never dull. He falls in love, sort of, and
Hmm.
Kevin Spacey is his, I don't know, mentor. He's trying to pay off a debt,
I think that was
but
one of his like last movies before
before he got
everything
canceled.
kind of came down. Yeah.
Yeah,
But
yeah. Well,
and Ansel Elgort, like he hasn't been doing a ton since that and then,
no, not at all.
but
Not at all.
yeah, no, that's a great movie.
Yeah, it's fantastic. It's never boring. I mean, it opens with a heist, ends with a heist.
Yeah.
So you're good if you like fast action. Even the cars are kind of cool, and I'm not a car
Hmm.
guy, but
I'm not. I know. I'm not a. I'm glad to hear you say that because I'm not a car guy either. But
no.
I just don't. Car's a car, but
Yeah,
whatever. I
yeah.
try.
Well, the soundtrack is excellent too. I mean,
Oh yeah.
he goes through so much different music for different situations that he's in. So
Yeah. I love that.
yeah, if you haven't seen it, it's definitely worth it. It's not one to be missed.
No. No, it's good to hear that it's 2017 that came out.
Yeah,
But that's I love that movie. So
yeah, very good.
so I'm gonna jump in the middle here and tell you about what I've seen. I will talk about Kingdom of the Spiders first, I think.
Yes, William Shatner with the flamethrower, right?
Oh my god. I hated this movie. Um so first of all, it's a bunch of racist tarantulas. Literally, they're racist, okay? Because they terrorize this poor black family for the first like the for 2 acts of the movie. Like these two farmers, this husband and this wife, Woody Strode and Altovis Davis, they play the Colby family, and then it's like the Colby Ranch, and this is where the spiders are coming out of a place on their farm, right? And so that's where it starts. And I think the made it just it's so dull and boring. I don't know when the last time you saw it was,
I would
but
say I'll give you a little background on this one.
okay.
So growing up on a Saturday afternoon, they
Mm-hmm.
would have these black and white movies.
Mm-hmm.
Or these was this one was in black and white?
No, it's in color.
Okay, because there was another one.
Or is
There's
it?
two
No,
that I
yeah, it's in
remember.
color.
They both have Shatner.
Mm.
The one was Kingdom of the Spiders, and the other one was called The Devil's Reign with
Oh, okay.
Ernest Borgnine.
Ernest Borgnine.
And it was, it was like creature double feature kind of thing.
Yep.
But these are the two that I remember, and I remember making sure that the curtains were open.
Yeah.
Because I mean, I might have been 9 or 10.
Yeah.
On Saturday afternoon.
I have a killer. I'll just no spoilers, but I might have a spider on my list later. A movie that really scared me as a kid. So
Okay.
I think it all depends when you watch these movies and your fear of level of the animal, right?
Yep.
And if I was if this came out when I was a little bit younger and I had seen it, I probably would have been freaked out, right? Like there's another older movie on my list that came out that my mom made me watch when we were younger, and I'm still in love with it. So anyways, we'll get there, but yeah, William Shatner is not bad. I was expecting to hear the typical the jokes you hear. Oh, we have to get to the like people say like his acting
is web.
yeah. I guess the one thing that really bothered me is how many tarantulas you can obviously tell were killed during the shooting of this movie. And I'm a pretty big animal guy. I don't like to see animals actually die.
Was the disclaimer at the end?
No
animals were yeah.
I actually was
in the 70s.
I was actually wondering because so I went and I looked up. And in the trivia on IMDb, it says, as you can tell, there is no disclaimer at the end saying that no animals were harmed. Because so what they did is they bought 5,000 tarantulas. They paid people to go find them. They were rural to the area where they shot the movie anyways. So they went to go and they paid people to find them. So they paid like $10 a spider, so they ended up paying $10,000 in tarantulas.
Jeez Louise.
Yeah, and but this movie just pissed me off, Steve, because so all these people are dying, but we never see really how they die. We do see kind of like a couple deaths, but like so the tarantulas have 5 times the venom of normal spiders or tarantulas or whatever, even though most tarantulas don't have venom. But then William Shatner gets bit 4-5 times during the movie. No, this is a spoiler, but well, actually, no, I'm not going to spoil it because the end is kind of left ambiguous. But he just moves on from these bites like everything's fine, and everybody else around him is just dying. And then you see them later and they're just wrapped in cocoons. It just, I don't know, the logic didn't help me liking it anymore. And I was frustrated. I was bored. I
The
gave
obvious,
1 star out of 5.
the obvious racism with the spider.
Well, I don't actually think it was racism,
I know, I
but
know.
and I was very happy to see like two prominent black couples a black couple in 1977. Sorry, I said
Yeah.
71 earlier. But and then I was so disappointed because the poster has a giant tarantula and there's never a giant tarantula. There's just the small ones.
Jeez.
I was waiting for some, practical effects or visual
Yeah.
effects or something.
I do remember the ending shot where the camera was just pulling away from the town and it was
Hmm.
just engulfed in a web.
Yeah, see,
That stuck with me. Like,
I wish there was
am
like
I
a
in trouble?
remake, but no. That's I was not gonna say it, but I don't really think it matters. But because we don't say who lives or dies, and also I'm not recommending people really seek this out. At one
Yeah, don't.
point, and at one point, a girl, I won't say who it is. She has a tarantula on her hand, and she has a gun in her hand. So what does she do? She shoots her hand off. She shoots her fucking hand off. Wouldn't you just brush the spider away?
Don't tell people that. Now they're gonna run out and see this.
Oh my god! And it comes like really late in the movie, and you're wondering where this you're wondering where this character's been, and all of a sudden you just see her in her house, and she's like, ah, and like the spiders all over, and then she sees one on her hand. And actually, it was good effects, in that scene. But yeah. So no, I did not like this movie. Hopefully, I pick a better one this week.
Yeah.
But so what's your next
All
movie?
right. The next one is at your recommendation, and pretty much everyone that I followed that talks about movies
Mm-hmm.
is I watched The Menu. And I remember texting you right afterwards because I think I looked
Oh
into
yeah.
it. I looked into it more than it actually was.
My parents did the exact same thing though. Both of them had different thoughts on the ending and they were asking me questions. So
Okay.
yeah.
All right, cool. Well, I and you had reviewed. I think you had reviewed this one before,
Mm-hmm.
and I'd have to go back and listen to your review of it.
Oh,
But
it was probably bullshit and hard to listen to. So don't.
nah, I trust you. I've come to trust you.
Wrong.
I thought it was very well done. In my review, I wrote deliciously entertaining, just because I feel like
You're punny.
yes, I'm punny and I'm sexy that way. And I love the characters. There's there's 900 cooking shows on the air now, so you realize what he's actually talking about.
Oh yeah. You can
Yeah.
see um the inspiration and the different characters and who they all are and what
Yeah.
they represent in society is great, right? Like you've
Yeah.
got the rich idiots who just have money, the actor who is doing it because
Attention.
he's pretending to be friends with the owner. Like you got the foodie. It's just
Yeah.
it's I've seen it 3 times, Steve.
Really?
I've seen it 3 times,
Okay.
yeah. In theaters and then 2 times at home. I just
Okay.
I really love it.
Yeah, it reminded me of Agatha Christie's 10 Little Indians.
Never seen that
Or
though.
have you seen the movie Clue?
Yes.
Yeah, that's loosely based on on the board game, but 10 Little Indians when they get different from different walks of life together and pretty much trap them in there, but they're all
Oh.
they're all there for a reason.
Okay.
And then there's slowly those folks die off and they
Hmm.
is it 10 Little Indians and then I think the original book was called and then there were 3
My
more.
Little Indian?
Yeah, something
Isn't that oh no, Indian in the Cupboard. That's what I
Indian
was
in the
thinking of.
Cupboard, yeah, which I never saw and never looked
I
any
saw it as a
better.
kid. I don't think it's amazing, but like, I think it's more a nostalgia thing and people
Yeah.
like it, but
Yeah.
I can't remember anything about it except there was a little Indian and a little
Cupboard.
there's a little horse, I think. Yeah. Anyways.
Yeah, so the menu was great. I love the way they did it. You can tell right away that there's something going on, even from the beginning opening scenes at the dock. when
Mhm.
people start recognizing each other,
Yeah.
and then they get there, and the Asian lady, then kind of like the host, she's, we don't go up there. That's Chef's house. We don't go up there. And I'm like, yep, somebody's going up there. And just it kept your attention from beginning to end,
Mhm.
because there's something fucked up going on. And there is. And there is.
And and in the like if in my feeling of the theater and I seeing it first time, um oh geez, sorry. Seeing it for the first time in the theater was very tense. I felt the tension building, and it did a pretty good job at keeping that tension. I don't know if you
Yeah,
agree how that
I
was at
absolutely.
home.
I agree. But
Okay.
but I went into it thinking that, oh, there's definitely, I don't mean, should it, there's definitely cannibalism going on here. That's
Oh.
that's the way I went into it. Like, do I really want to watch this? Like, I can already see what's going on here, but that is definitely not the case. And I
Yeah.
don't think I'm ruining that for anyone. And I hope that because I've talked to several people, and they thought the same thing.
But I think I've heard a lot of people have went into this movie not knowing it was a horror or had horror elements. Um, and my mom watched it, and she doesn't really like anything horror. There's only a couple parts I think that are it's it just has a couple violent or gruesome parts, not really anything scary.
Yeah, it's shocking.
Um,
It's more shocking than
yeah,
scary. Yeah.
yeah. Like I think, right. Mm, I'm not even gonna say his name, but the guy who plays Chef Slowick, I think he was great, and he was menacing. So kind of like a villain, right? So
Right.
he was creepy enough. But
Yeah.
I'm so glad you saw it.
Yeah. Yeah. I loved it. And then afterwards, there's the ending shot, which I won't give away.
Yeah.
But I knew that you had seen it and loved it, so I text you with, "Am I looking too much into this?" And I'm glad that you talked me off the ledge, because I was looking for more than what was actually there. So thank you.
Yeah, no, and I'm still not even certain about the ending. Like, I think like you can kind of make up your own mind. So, and I think I have, but I'm still open to the other ideas, and I don't mind when a movie ends ambiguously if you can have a good idea of what happened. I don't like when a movie just like, goes to black and you're like, well, what happened? You know, when it's done right like this, where you can kind of pull out what you think happened from the script or the meaning or the characters. I love that. So,
So you don't love the Sopranos ending?
I've never seen The Sopranos. My dad's
Oh,
watching it right now, but
okay. All right.
I've heard about The Sopranos ending. I mean, who
Well,
hasn't? I mean, Family Guy even spoofed it of like a few times.
yes.
I remember when they're like, "Well, at least we just don't fade to," and then it just just cuts off. Anyways, okay, so that was your movie, and
Yes.
I hope what so 4 out of 5. What do you rate this guy?
I believe I gave it. Let me double check, because I don't want to. I gave it 4 out of 5.
Oh, well, there we go. Good
There was
job.
something. There was apparently something wrong that I thought wasn't a perfect movie, but
Well, and when
I
things are
don't know.
built up like that, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. But yeah, I love this movie. I would watch it again.
Good. Good. Good for all of us. Okay. So last night I sat down. You can rent this at home now. I haven't been in the theater in a while. I've been sticking close to home, but now you can rent this at home. Steve, I watched M3gan.
Oh,
Do you know this movie,
yes, I
M3gan?
do. I do.
So Megan, I
I
watched
do. I
Megan.
originally thought it was Miss Sixon.
Oh, really?
I texted to my friend, and he's like, "Isn't it a 3?" And I'm like, "No."
You actually
And it
find
was.
out why it is that in the movie. It's like mechanical third generation animatronic something. but you know what I
Yep.
mean. So then it spells Megan, and I was like,
Right.
oh, okay, that's actually pretty cool.
You can get
Um,
this at home now?
yeah, it's so like it's still playing in theaters, but if you want to watch it at home, you can rent it for like $20, right? 20,
Okay.
which
Yeah.
is which $20 is a lot, but if you're going to go to the theater, you're spending, 40, $50 for two people anyways and
Yeah.
popcorn and stuff, right? But um so this is starring Allison Williams, who you might know from Get Out and Girls, the TV show. Violet McGraw, who you, my friend, haven't seen in Haunting of Hill House. She's great in
I have
that.
not.
And then a few other people. Jenna Davis does the voice of Megan. Amy Donald does the animatronic, like the walking, and they do it really well. It's really creepy, and Megan is creepy. She's not as creepy as I thought she would be. Like I wasn't creeped out at all. I like more creeped out by Annabelle. Um and
Yes.
and
Yes.
this movie,
Annabelle, no.
yeah, this movie isn't as creepy as Annabelle Creation. But this movie's really fun, and I gave it 4 stars.
Okay.
I had it knows it's silly, and it pokes fun at itself, and it makes some jokes, and but it also gets gruesome, a little violent. There may or may not be kid deaths in this that are um you
May or
know
may not.
yeah, which is hard to watch when you have a kid, but at the same time, um I don't want to give that away, but
Did they deserve it?
yeah, that's what I was
All right,
about to
good.
say there.
You can
Might have
justify
been,
it then.
yeah. Might have been a kid who deserved it. Um but yeah, so I'll just say quickly, obviously the story is uh, a young girl played by Violet McGraw. Her name's Katie. Her something happens to her family, and she has to go live with her aunt. Gemma, played by Allison Williams, or Gemma, sorry, not Gemma. And Gemma is works at a robotics firm. They create this robot. Katie doesn't have many friends, so her and this robot become friends. And I think what was really good about this movie too is that it also was smarter than it had to be by bringing in kind of that uh, thoughts and ideas about the technology and kids and how they're growing up with that, right? And
Okay.
there's some interesting things because there's like psychiatrists, like Katie is working with a psychiatrist, right? And I found some actual interesting talk and the connection there between her and this robotic pal. And right from the beginning, they start with this whole, technology and what it does to kids and screen time and stuff like that. So yeah, really enjoyed it. I gave it a 4 out of 5. I
Okay.
think, especially if you had like a few friends or like a date night, I think 20 something bucks or whatever you got to pay for it. I think it's a fun night in, for sure.
My best friend and I usually go to see different horror movies. We'll go to the theater together.
Mm-hmm.
And I sent him the trailer when the trailer first came out, and he said, "No, it looks hokey." And I said, "Okay, well, do you think Child's Play with Chucky is hokey?" He goes, "Yeah, absolutely." So
This is
he's avoiding it. I would like to say it, but
see, I see Chucky kind of falls more in line with the movies of its time, like the slasher movies,
right.
right? And this one's a little hokier than I think. So your friend is probably a little more right. This one makes fun of itself.
Right. Well, I thought
There's
Chucky kind of did that. Like Chucky went
yeah,
for the comedy of it as well.
yeah.
But
But there's a like at one point, a couple times, there's weird music moments, like Megan sings, and then there's another part where she dances. That's funny, like I laughed. I'm like, okay, this is pretty silly, but it didn't piss me off. Like it wasn't like, oh God, what are they doing? It was kind of comical, right?
yeah, I hear
So
there's already a sequel.
Yeah, apparently,
So,
and
yeah.
then there's talk of a Chucky Annabelle Megan crossover.
Yeah, see Annabelle. See, I don't like haunted dolls, but this one I wouldn't put it in the category of a haunted doll.
No,
Annabelle,
this is more Terminator than it is Chucky.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. All right.
yeah,
I I'm definitely going to see this. It's on a list,
yeah,
and I'm glad that it's not as dumb as my friend makes it out to be.
yeah. So that was mine. You have two more movies to talk about.
I
One more.
you know what? I'll give you one more.
Yeah, please
I'll give
do.
you one more,
All right.
and it was from I guess it was a leftover from Christmas,
Mm-hmm.
and I avoided it. It is a Christmas movie. It's not Die Hard, and you can tell your mom it's not Die Hard.
Uh-huh.
It is the
You
Family
keep my
Stone.
mom out of this.
Yeah, keep your mom's name out my mouth. It is the Family Stone. Now,
Oh,
I will preface this by saying I hate Dermot Mulroney. I hate Sarah Jessica Parker, but I do love me some Rachel McAdams.
mm-hmm.
I did go through it. Those two were Mulrooney and Sarah Jessica Parker were over the top of what I don't like about them, but I went through it. I suffered through it. Every other character in this movie is great.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed it. I love that there's by the end, and I don't think I'm ruining this. This is what 2005. Right?
Yeah.
I haven't seen it in 17 years. You'll still enjoy it.
Yeah, for sure.
By the end, there's some partner swapping, and nobody seems to give a shit.
No.
Seems like they're okay.
Could you imagine in real life?
Dermot Mulroney and Sarah Jessica Parker are a couple at the beginning, and she invites her sister to come along, who then hooks up with Dermot Mulroney, and Sarah Jessica Parker hooks up with Dermot Mulroney's brother, who is it's escaping me. Wilson.
Luke Wilson, yeah.
Luke Wilson.
Yeah.
Yeah. And they all get together the following Christmas, and nobody seems to care. Nobody's uncomfortable, and it's bizarre.
It is bizarre.
It's like this movie.
It is bizarre, but this is top 2 Christmas movies for me.
Okay, great.
I love this movie.
I love to hear
that. But it is bizarre, but there's enough emotion in here, and this was in 2015, when I hadn't seen enough LGBT representation in my life, so I found that really great. And there's a dinner scene in there.
Yes.
With Diane Keaton, that's just, it's great. But
yeah.
And you probably loved it because I think Sarah Jessica Parker basically gets told to shut the fuck up.
Yes, she does. Because I was telling her to shut up too.
Yeah.
And here's the thing: she gets told to shut up, but she keeps going.
Oh yeah.
And the same thing happened.
She's hateable in this.
This past Christmas, there was an aunt during that brought something up, and everyone kind of told her, you're making somebody feel uncomfortable. And then she brought it up again, and then during dessert in the other room, she brought it up again, and that's when everybody got up and left. So that's actually what it reminded me of, because they'd just gone through it.
Excuse me. That's my family can be like that. We have, obviously every family's got those people with opposing
they
views.
All got shit.
Yeah, it's just whether or not you can keep it to yourself, especially when the drinks start flowing or something that, right?
The drinks start flowing. Sorry, I'm gonna open.
Oh, that wasn't a good enough crack. I didn't.
Sorry.
No, that's okay.
I brought 3 up from downstairs, and this one might not be as cold.
Whatever you gotta say. I'm disappointed.
Okay. Sorry.
the one thing I was gonna say, I will talk about two movies quickly here. I wasn't gonna do anymore because I talk too fucking much, and sorry for just
You're fine.
banging the table. Um, but I watched two animated movies that have been on my list. Two animated movies from last year that were based on TV shows. One TV show that I have never watched in my entire life, and one TV show that I absolutely love. So the Bob's Burgers movie.
Yes.
I love Bob's Burgers. I haven't seen every season, but I've seen like the first 6 or 7, and every six or whatever. And every once in a while, I go back to it, and I find it hilarious. And Teddy and all of them.
The kids make them.
Oh,
Make
Gene
and I'll give you. And I don't mean to interrupt you, but I was never a Bob's Burgers watcher. My wife and my daughter swear by it.
Mm-hmm.
My wife watched the movie on the way back from Atlanta in September, and she was shoved in the middle seat of a plane between me and a guy that is my size. Now, I'm sure you can tell that I'm not the sveltest of
You
men.
get you weigh a good 180, right?
Oh, yeah.
190, yeah.
The left side of me. The left side of me, 180, and the other side weighs 190.
Oh my gosh. Shut up.
She watches. So I started watching it afterwards. I haven't seen the movie, but I'm in that realm now where every episode that I watch is brand new to me. So I'm enjoying it. Like, it's fantastic.
And
the kids absolutely 1000% make this show.
Yeah.
Gene is the best.
Gene is the best. I get a little irritated by Tina, and I know that's blasphemy to say, but like, I don't know. She's always talking about butts, and I'm like, okay, like I get it. But no, and so the movie was kind of no different from any episode, and I found it actually might have trailed away from any of the episodes, because it's an hour and a half and they're usually half-hour episodes, 22 minutes or whatever, right? Yeah. So
what's the plot of the movie? Can you tell me that?
So they need a bank loan because the burger place is closing if they don't get this bank loan, and then all of this stuff starts happening. There's a there's a murder plot involved. Like they find like a dead body. I like an old anyways, and then it's kind of a mystery, but it's also really funny.
Is it Teddy?
No. Teddy, there's some really good Teddy moments. They knew what to do with Teddy. I love him so much.
Teddy's a hairy dude.
Yes. Gene has some great moments. They all do. And there's some great Mr. Fischoeder stuff if you like him from the show.
Yes.
But so I gave that 3.5 stars. I thought it was fine.
All right. Where can I find this? Is that HBO Max?
Yeah, no, it's on Disney Plus. That's where I watch it.
All
so so it should be Disney Plus for you. But then I'm saying a lot. I apologize. So I sat down and I watched Beavis and Butthead do the universe. Are you a Beavis and Butthead fan?
I was back in the day.
Were you?
Then it got taken off the air, and I hadn't gone back.
Yeah.
I mean, I saw Beavis and Butthead do America.
Okay.
Is that the first one?
Yeah. I just found that out, actually. I didn't even know there was another movie. I have not seen a single episode all the way through. Obviously, I've seen clips. It came out in 98, started in 98.
Yeah.
So I've seen lots of it, but
yeah, I haven't seen this one. I haven't seen it, but I haven't gone back since the early 2000s.
This movie is hilarious.
All right.
I'm so glad I sat down and watched it. I said, you know what? I got to give these guys a shot. They're from my childhood. I was 8 years old when it started, right? So it just continued through and everybody loved it. I said, I got to give these guys a shot. And I'm so glad I did, because this movie is so stupid, it's funny. And Mike Judge is so smart. And I thought I would get annoyed with the and I didn't really. There was one part where I did when he's like on the phone. There's a whole part where so basically they go ahead in the future at some point, or there's some future stuff. It's kind of like Rick and Morty mixed with Beavis and Butthead a bit.
Okay.
But so they go into the future and our time, like it's 2022. So for them, and they one of them, I can't tell them apart. I don't know who's who. I think it's Butthead. He forms a relationship with Siri, and
Of course he
he
does.
thinks that Siri's a person on his phone. It's so great. There's some really great stuff, and if you're not if you hate them, I wouldn't suggest you watch this. But if you haven't seen Beavis and Butthead, I would say dip your toe into this movie, because I just thought there was so many smart moments, and it's just so absurd, so absurd and stupid, but smart at the same time. I don't know. I keep saying the same thing over and over again, but I gave it 4 out of 5 stars. I think
Okay.
it was really funny. Yeah. So just give it a
I
shot,
like it.
people.
Yeah. If I come across it, I don't know.
Yeah, it's on HBO Max, I'm pretty sure. So, or HBO
That,
Max, yes.
that's my favorite. So
Okay. Well, there you go.
I will seek it out and find it.
Okay. So we actually, you know what? Before we jump into our top 5, I'm just gonna go over what is coming to streaming and what is coming to
Okay.
theaters tomorrow, or today, because I'll probably on the 27th is what I'll say. January 27th, we have Shotgun Wedding, starring Mrs. Jennifer Affleck, J-Lo herself, and what's that guy's name? Timothy. It looks like Timothy Oliphant. I always get them mixed up.
I love me some
Josh Duhamel. Josh
that's
Duhamel.
That's
Fergie's
Mr. Jennifer Aniston, her ex, I guess.
Oh yeah,
at this point.
I don't know. He was with Fergie at one point too. And anyway, so that's a romantic comedy. It will be on Amazon Prime on the 27th, Prime Video. And then the new Eddie Murphy movie comes out on the 27th on Netflix as well.
I can't wait for that one.
Yeah, it looks really funny.
Yeah.
Both of these movies on Rotten Tomatoes have a 41% for You People and 42% for Shotgun Wedding.
What you mean, you people?
Yeah. I mean, that's a bold name to give your movie, but when you got Eddie Murphy in it, you can do whatever you want, right? But
Wait, that's for Eddie Murphy movie is 41%.
yeah, I don't know. Critics just don't care about him anymore. But
I mean, it was a 45-second trailer and it was hysterical. It was very uncomfortable.
it was. The trailer was very funny, so I hope I'm gonna watch it anyways.
Yeah.
Fuck people. Fuck critics.
Yeah.
So anyway, so those are the 2 movies really coming out on streaming. There's a couple others that I compromat. I don't know. Anyways, I'm not even gonna get into it. And then the only movie really big that's coming to theaters this weekend is Infinity Pool, which is a movie starring Alexander Skarsgård and Mia Goth, who I love, Mia Goth, and is directed by Brandon Cronenberg, the son of David Cronenberg. And Brandon Cronenberg, I hope one day he won't always be known as his father's son, because I loved Possessor that he did, Brandon Cronenberg, which was great. There was another one that he did in there too, but I'm not a huge David Cronenberg fan, but anyways, I'm getting off track. It's coming out in theaters this weekend. I'm going to try to catch it at some point if I ever leave the house.
Just to go back, Josh Duhamel was not married to Jennifer Aniston. I was thinking of Justin Theroux.
Justin Theroux, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, he was. Yeah. Oh, yeah, he was. Yeah. So I listen to the Smart List podcast, and they are good friends with Thoreau and Aniston, so I didn't know
Yeah.
they were actually married at one point. But
Yeah, I'm married for 3 years.
oh yeah, I did know that, but I forgot until you said something. Look at you keeping up with your celebrity gossip.
Sorry. As soon as I said it, I was like, that doesn't sound right.
That's
Yeah.
that's really funny. I love that you pulled that out.
I'm sorry. Even if it was wrong.
No, I love that you like, you know what, I gotta figure this out. I gotta get to the bottom of this.
Sorry, there's an immediate asterisk that goes over.
Yeah. No, I get that. We should just not know. Let's just not know. That's from, I forget what that movie is with Adam Driver. Okay, so now we're gonna get into our. I have 5 movies. Do you have 5 yet?
I do have 5. Yes,
Okay. We sat down. We never even talked about how many we were gonna do, but we're gonna talk about our favorite killer animal movies. So
Can I preface this by saying that I don't have Jaws and Jurassic Park on because I believe that they deserve their own wing in the Hall of Awesome.
And Jaws would be my number 1 for sure. Yeah. I kept dinosaurs completely off, and I also kept any animal that had been mutilated or hybrid to the point of unrecognition. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
you mean by the end of the movie?
No, like what was the one? You know, like I don't have Tremors on here. I don't have I would have Tremors. Trust me, I love Tremors.
I have Tremors on my list.
Shut up. I mean, I don't
even know how to describe them.
Yeah, worms, I guess, giant. Anyways,
yeah,
we'll get to there. So, well, you start with your number 5. If you want to throw Tremors to the bottom, then
all right, I'll throw Tremors down there. It was number 3, but I'll go with number 5. Bacon and that other guy,
Fred
Ward. Yeah,
he has passed. He is.
I was not aware of that.
Yeah. Oh, I thought you froze for a second there. I thought I lost you.
No. Oh, sorry, Fred Ward. Rest in peace.
Yeah.
I saw this in the theater. I was on a date, and she turned to me halfway through and said, "Why did you bring me to this movie? Do you not like me?" Like, looked into it, and then by the end, she's like, "I'm so glad that we went to see this. This is a great movie."
Oh, really? She liked it?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, well, that was.
And then we dated for 5 years. So
yeah, well, I was gonna say that's a keeper. Yeah. Here, hold on 1 second, because I will. I'm gonna show you something.
You have a Fred Ward Funko Pop. So, what has he got? Suspense is killing me.
But have you seen all 6 Tremors movies?
I don't even think I've seen the 2nd through 6. I would have guessed 5, but you're telling me 6.
There's actually 7 now.
Oh,
the 7th one
is one a Christmas special.
Yeah. So I would say if you are a Tremors fan, 1, 2, and 3 are fun.
Okay.
Fred Ward is in the 2nd one.
Yes.
But the guy who plays Burt Gummer.
Yes. The father from Family Ties? No.
Family Ties. What is his fucking name?
What is it? Family Ties?
Oh, we're gonna look this up now, Steve.
Oh boy.
But anyway, so the first 3 are pretty good. They get pretty bad after that. But actually, I watched 7 that came out 2 years ago, and I really liked it. Not the movie 7, but the 7.
Anybody from the original in there?
Burt Gummer is in all 7. He is played by Michael Gross.
Michael Gross, yes.
Yeah. So he's in all 7 movies. The last one came out in 2020. There's even one of the movies is a prequel, and Burt Gummer plays a Gummer from the Old West. It's like an Old West Tremors movie.
The Worms Time Travel.
Yeah, you've got me down a wormhole. This was a favorite when I was a kid. So
yeah, is that Reba McEntire that he's married to?
Oh no, they get divorced in the second one.
Oh,
They didn't.
no.
They didn't get her back.
How dare they?
Yeah, I'm a.
Mm.
Oh, I'm a huge
But
Reba
the
fan.
two
So
of them with their love of guns in their see, now you put me to shame.
was that one okay?
Yeah, that was much better than mine, apparently.
Cheers, my friend.
Cheers, friend. Yes, absolutely.
Um,
The scene with them
in the basement.
in the basement when they're getting all their ammunition and they're throwing different ammo and different guns back and forth is just
So great. So great. If you
it's
haven't seen Tremors, people, it is a fun little it's a fun creature feature. And I
is.
would say this is a creature feature. I thought we were not that I thought, but I was sticking with purely animals because I don't know. My list would be completely different if it was creature features, I think.
Well, technically they're animals. We just don't know what kind of animals they are.
Yeah, they're living, breathing.
The creepy crawly things.
Yeah, I guess you
The
know what
grabbers.
the tremors or grabbers is what they call them. They were animals, just like they're prehistoric, and then they wake up. Anyways, whatever.
Yeah, it's good. It's fun. It's got some comedy to it.
Mm-hmm.
You're actually rooting for the people. There's only one.
Yep.
There's only one kid that you really want.
Oh yeah, and he lives.
Yeah, it's sad.
Yeah. Actually, no. In number 2, quite a few of the people come back. There's like 3 or 4 of the returning actors.
Okay,
Yeah.
but not Kevin Bacon.
Yeah, so in the second one, they have evolved to come on land, and then in the third one, they fly.
Oh Jesus!
I wanted to hear your reaction to that.
Oh my God! I had no idea. Did they go to space in the fourth one?
The fourth one is the prequel,
Uh-huh.
and then the
Go
other
ahead.
ones. What's that?
Go ahead. Tell me more.
And then hold on.
The fifth one they put on a play of Miss Saigon.
Fifth one is Bloodlines, and as you can imagine, I think Burt Gummer finds out he has family. And then in Tremors: A Cold Day in Hell, as you can imagine, it happens in
It happens in hell.
no, in the Arctic.
Oh, okay.
And then the next one happens in like Africa or something like that.
Jason went to hell too back in the 7th.
Jason did go to hell. Yeah. Okay, so my number 5 is 1971's Willard. This is where I was getting confused earlier when I was saying that Kingdom of the Spiders was from 1971, which it is not. It is from 77. Willard is from 71. I have yet to see the remake, but the original I think is great. The remake has Crispin Glover. This is about a killer mouse, and the mouse's name is Willard, and he will do anything for his owner. No, the guy's name is Willard. I apologize. So Willard is the owner. He's creepy. He's played by Bruce Davidson, and he starts to form relationships with rats, and he has a friend named Socrates and Ben. These are rats. Have you seen this movie?
I have not.
It's
not.
I sat down to watch this and I thought I would hate it, but I really really enjoyed it. It's an older creature feature, but killer animal movie, and
Rats aren't my thing.
really,
Yeah, they're not. But that's okay.
I mean, like they're scary to you, like you don't love them, like
No, just
creepy.
There's just too many of them. It just kind of.
Mhm.
I wouldn't say that they're creepy. It's just.
There's too many. There's too many of them in this one. I can tell you that.
Well, I mean, like think of Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade when they went down into the catacombs of the Italian library.
Is that the one where I think her name's Marianne? She puts her hand
No,
through.
that's the second one. That's Molaram and
Yes.
the Temple of Doom. That's Steven Spielberg's wife.
But when yes, and when she had to put her hand in there with all the bugs,
Yeah, the giant
I
centipede and
oh
yeah. See that was bad.
oh
The third one was the one they went down into the. They were looking for the Night Shield,
mm-hmm,
the catacombs of the
mm-hmm.
Italian library, and there was rats all over the place, and they were in the woman's hair, and
I
yeah,
will. I'm gonna rewatch them all before the new one, the fifth one comes out, um, and I'll because I don't remember. I saw them when I was younger, so I'm
gotcha.
not a huge Indiana Jones fan. I like them a lot, but they're not like my you know they're not my Star Wars. But
Gotcha.
anyways, your number four,
My number four.
which would have been your number five, but
Yeah.
I screwed you up.
This one, uh, going from my childhood. You know,
So in the 30s.
I was growing up when I was an impressionable youth. 1978.
Uh huh.
Michael Caine. I know he's your he's your boy.
Mm-hmm.
Stars in The Swarm. About is a
Mm-hmm.
huge swarm of deadly African bees that spread terror over American cities by killing thousands of people. And this scared the living hell out of me because when I was growing up, they always said, "Oh, next summer the bees are coming. They're coming out of Texas. They're coming out of Mexico." And of course, the bees never showed up. And it took me until I was an adult to stop believing that the bees were coming.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, but this one, there's this giant swarm of bees. They derail a train, and they basically take cars and drive them off the road.
Look at this cast.
Yes, the cast is
Catherine Ross, Richard Chamberlain, Olivia de Havilland from Gone
yes,
with the Wind, Lee Grant, Slim Pickens,
yes,
Henry
Henry
Fonda.
Fonda. Yes,
What the fuck is going on in this movie?
yes, yeah. This is a guilty pleasure, and it's campy, and
Mm-hmm.
it's like the special effects are actually probably pretty good for 1978,
Mm-hmm.
but
It says
yeah,
here the film
this.
received overwhelmingly negative reviews and
Oh
was a
yes,
box office bomb and
it
has been
was.
considered to be one of the worst films ever made.
Yes, it was. I think I saw that it was 11 to 21 million to make it, and it only made 7.7 in the box
Oh,
office.
I need to
But
see this immediately.
yeah, there's one part where there's a kid and his parents get killed by the bees, and he survives somehow, and
Mm-hmm.
he's in the hospital, and the psychiatrists are there, and they're like, he wakes up and he says, "No, no, the bee is there," and like, "No, reach out to the bee, reach out, you'll see that it's not real." And he reaches his hand out, and then it's like
The
it's like
bee is
they
real?
superimpose a bee over the top of the room,
Oh my
and
god.
he's like, "Oh, it's not real." It's so bad,
It's
it's
so
great.
bad it's good.
It's
Yeah.
I love this movie, and I would watch it again and again. I would assume that uh, if you're high, you would really enjoy this movie. Uh, but
Oh,
yeah,
you know why I know this? Is because
oh,
I have this book and it is because it's based on a 1974 novel written by Arthur Herzog. And this was back when I was trying to find any movies about killer animals. And I read everything by, oh my God, who wrote Jaws?
Peter
Peter
Benchley.
Benchley. Thank you. Um, yeah, so I had all his books and I had, excuse me. And then I found this Arthur Herzog, like this one. I've never seen it though, but that's
Yeah,
why I
it's
recognized it.
don't go in with great expectations because you will be disappointed. But
Oh, it'll be a fun time, I
it's so
think.
bad, it's good.
So my number
Guilty
four
pleasure.
is
Sorry, good.
yeah, no, I get it. Now shut up. I'm kidding. My number four is a movie that I always try to bring attention to whenever I'm talking about killer animal movies, and that is a 2007 film called Rogue. It is an alligator movie based out of it's in Australia. Didn't get a lot of attention when it came out, but the effects are pretty good. The story's very tense. It has 89% on Rotten Tomatoes. And basically it's this tour group going out to look at the wildlife in Australia. And yeah, it's an early Sam Worthington, who does the one guy from Avatar, and then Radha Mitchell, who I really love. She's in this as well. But yeah, it's on Netflix now. So last year I did a big push and I said, everybody go watch Rogue. If you like killer animal movies, this is definitely one to watch. And I had a few friends come back and say, oh yeah, that was really good. Oh, and Mia Wasikowska is in this as well. So there's like, and Tan, she says her name differently now, Thandie Newton, but Tandiwe, I don't know how she says her name now. So a lot of like early recognizable stars. So definitely give this one a shot.
Alrighty.
I think you'd like it.
Okay. Well, I'm going to switch around my list now that you said alligators.
Okay.
I am going to go, and I have to look up to see when this came out.
Mm-hmm.
It's a fairly recent movie.
Crawl?
It is.
I have that in my also around. It's 2018.
Crawl.
Yeah.
Yeah. 2019.
2019, huh?
2019.
I'll just quit. I quit.
Barry Pepper is the dad.
Yes.
And Kaya Golder Laurent. Yeah. Another girl there. Her name's Haley.
I keep moving papers, and listeners are probably going to be mad. I'm sorry.
All right, we'll deal with it. We'll deal with it. This has an 84% on Rotten Tomatoes.
Yeah.
This is a movie where a Florida town gets hit by a hurricane, and it helps that the character Haley just happens to be a Olympic swimmer, or close to being an Olympic swimmer.
Yeah, right.
Her dad is at their old house and he's trying to fix it up, and the dad gets injured. She hasn't heard from him, so she goes to try to find him. Chaos ensues. There's a ton of alligators, very smart alligators, by the way.
Yeah, very smart. Which is weird because they've just come out of the Florida swamp, but they're like wickedly smart.
Yeah,
and hungry.
Yeah. And they know how to navigate, through kitchens and into shower stalls, which was another great scene about that in this movie. She traps one in a shower stall.
Yes.
And the gas station across the street is a den of thievery. Yeah. And this movie is just it's not. You think, all right, it's an killer alligator movie, but it's not. It's actually pretty well done,
mm-hmm. and the effects are good.
Yeah, mm-hmm. Yeah, it's not campy at all.
No, that's the thing is like we're looking back on the movie and laughing, but we're laughing because like the situations are crazy, and they're not funny in the movie. The movie is pretty serious and it takes itself serious, and it's creepy and it's scary. So it's not like that. It's not like a B movie at all. This one's really well done.
Yes.
Yeah.
Great special effects as well, and and the storm just keeps coming and coming, and there's canoes, and there's get up on the roof finally. It's very well done. It's exciting. It's never boring.
Yeah.
And, keep you on the edge of your bed.
This the guy who actually directed this movie is one of my favorite directors. So he directed High Tension in 2003, which a lot of people love. And it's probably one of my least favorite of his movies. He did The Hills Have Eyes remake in 2006. He did Mirrors with Kiefer Sutherland in 2008. Piranha 3D in 2010, which almost made my list. He's one of my favorites. So I'm gonna go and kind of He's he knows how to make a good creepy movie. Yeah.
And it looks like Sam Raimi is a producer on this
Oh, okay.
as
Well, that
well,
makes
which I didn't know.
it is funny when a producer will like attach their name when they know
Yeah.
that the movie was
Wow.
good.
The budget was 13.5 million and it made 91.5 million. So
Yeah.
I figure somewhere around the 20 million he went, yeah, attach my name to that.
They actually Megan the movie has already made like 250 million. Um and it was only 12 million to make. So,
Nice.
yeah.
Excellent.
And I was happy to see Allison Williams is the lead actress in that. She was a producer on that, so hopefully she made a little bit of money on it. So it's my turn, I guess, right?
It is your turn. Am I allowed
Ooh.
to duck out for a second?
Yeah.
All right. It's not because I don't love you.
Oh, you're gonna duck out.
Yeah, I'll be back in.
Oh,
Give me 90 seconds. But keep talking. Go ahead.
yeah. I'll riff. I
All right.
can
Go
riff.
ahead. Go
Okay.
ahead, riff.
All right. Hi, I'm Mitch Burns. Is this AA? I'll probably just end up cutting this out. But how's everyone doing? All right. I'm just going to quickly. Oh, I wish he'd given me more. Oh, no, here it is. Okay, so I watched Navalny. That is a 2022 documentary that got nominated for Best Documentary. I gave that 5 stars, and I didn't know much about the subject. So I think it really kind of broke my heart in a lot of ways. It's about a Russian man who was trying to oppose Putin, and as you can imagine, things don't go well for him. But there's some crazy tense moments. And as I said, I watched 8 Mile for the first time. I didn't say that, but I gave it 4 stars. I thought that was really good. I watched that because a friend of mine, we have a horror group, and he made me watch this movie called The Hip Hop Witch from 2000 that that Eminem has basically tried to take his name off of and tried to hide. It is literally the worst movie I've ever seen. I'm not exaggerating. If anybody ever asked me the worst movie I've ever seen, I would say this one. I watched Welcome to the Dollhouse for the first time. Gave it 4 stars. Good movie. And a little movie from 1976 called Murder by Death, which has some very racist moments, but it is an incredibly funny movie. Peter Sellers, Maggie Smith, really great cast. It's a lot like Clue, but funnier. Anyways, Steve is back.
There's nothing funnier than Clue.
I don't know if I've seen Clue now that I think about it.
Oh my God, Clue is so great. Tim
But
Curry. Tim
yeah,
Curry.
okay, so I have seen it. I don't know. Like, it's been a while since I've seen it. So this one, it's called Murder by Death. Have you seen that one?
No, I've heard of it.
It's really funny. Like, I'm just gonna say one of the jokes here. Like, the Maggie Smith and her husband, they get lost on the way to this. They get lost on the way to this house, and they're like, "Oh, darling, we're so lost." They all have British accents, and they go to this payphone. "We're so lost. Whatever will we do?" But they both have martinis with olives in them, and they're walking through this forest. And there's just so many great. And then the butler's blind, and
what one animal is killing them?
oh no, I wasn't talking about.
Oh.
While you were gone, I was just talking about movies I've seen recently.
Oh,
There's
sorry.
I don't think there's any animals.
Gotcha.
Was I my number 3? So
Yes.
my number three. I should talk towards the mic.
It's a minor detail when you're doing a podcast.
Yeah, apparently you have to have a mic. Is 1990s arachnophobia. Like I said, we were talking earlier about spiders.
Yeah, you brought this up in an earlier.
Did I?
Podcast, yeah.
See, it's funny. I remember other people's podcasts, but I don't remember my own. Yeah, so produced by Steven Spielberg. A lot of people think it was directed by him, but it was not. But so I watched this when I was younger, and really creepy. Another one of the great shower scenes. It's got the amazing Jeff Daniels and John Goodman doing some great work here.
No, George Wendt.
Who?
George Wendt.
Is he in there?
Yeah, Norm from Cheers.
I don't remember him, but in it.
Oh my god!
But I probably didn't really know who he was at the time. So directed by Frank Marshall, who is like kind of one of the forgotten directors, but he has directed a lot of great things. Anyways, I love this movie. Really creepy spider stuff. I don't know how it holds up. They're making a remake that will come out this year at some point, which I will watch, obviously, but if it's good, maybe. But yeah, this is and this movie has a lot of humor. So Arachnophobia, it's a good one to throw on. It's a B movie, but if you don't like spiders, it's creepy. See, I don't find tarantulas scary, but the spiders in this one are scary because John Goodman, he's going into like crawl spaces, and then there's spiders all around him, and then they're coming out of the sink, and I found this one's creepy, let me tell you.
Yeah. So they so it's not the actual spiders themselves, it's the crawling on you that creeps you out.
So I used to be like pretty arachnophobic, but now I've realized what I am. There's a size limit to my arachnophobia. If they're really small, I don't care. If they're really big, that's great. I would own a tarantula. If they're anywhere in between, fuck off. Like I can't handle them when
the size of a nickel, is that a bad size?
Nickel and above.
Nickel and above.
And then to tarantula size. But see, and then you go to Australia. See, I wouldn't really, if I knew there was a huntsman spider in my house, obviously I would be like, okay, go away, but I wouldn't kill it. But yeah.
Yeah. Anyways. What's the camel spiders? Is that
camel spiders? Yeah. I don't know if they're the same thing, but what is your number 3?
My number, I think I'm on 2.
Yep.
Tremors.
Yep.
And Crawl. Yep. My number 2. 1978. Again, a guilty pleasure from when I was a kid. Something that scared the hell out of me and still fascinates me at the aquarium that I belong to, is Piranha. The original Piranha.
Okay.
This is as campy as it gets.
Have you seen the sequel directed by
I have not.
James Cameron?
No, I have not seen Piranha 3D. Is that what the sequel is?
Oh, no. So anyways, you continue and I'll fill you in later.
Yeah, this one has a bunch of character actors, not anyone that you would probably know off the top of your head, but it's fun. It's a group of piranha that get unleashed into a river and wreak havoc, and there's a lot of death. And I think that the worst part of it was the sound that the piranhas would make,
like chattering of teeth or something.
Chewing on a person. It was I think that's what got me. And then eventually they I don't know.
Well, because in the remake,
okay,
they are like ancient, fish that they're not actually piranhas, but like they're piranhas like that have evolved. Yeah, kind of thing.
Is that the Elizabeth Shue, Jerry O'Connell vehicle?
Yeah, it's really good. It is actually really good. It's campy and good. But anyway, so Piranha 1978 had Piranha 2 that came out in 1981, and that is James Cameron's first movie he ever directed.
Really?
Yeah. And he's he's tried to take his name off of it. It's supposedly really bad. He has apparently tried to say that he didn't actually direct it. There's a whole story behind it, but
Maybe
yeah.
that's some other James Cameron.
So there's essentially 4 Piranha movies, because the Piranha 3D had a sequel, 3 Double D.
Oh well, yeah.
Yeah.
You can't go wrong there. I see the movie poster, and I can confirm it is Double D.
I mean, I haven't seen the original Piranha, but I will watch it because I do have a list of killer animal movies that I'm trying to get through.
I think I've seen the second one, which was The Spawning, and it was just not good.
Yeah, that's the one directed by Cameron.
Oh yeah, that's not good. Not good. That was a piece of shit.
Okay, well then I don't think I'll watch. I don't think I'll ever watch that one. But I gotta say, the 2010 version,
yeah,
has Ving Rhames
excellent,
ripping off the motor to a boat, starting it up in his hands and putting it into the water to kill piranhas.
Well, I mean, how else are you going to kill him?
There's some really cheesy, great B movie stuff that made me laugh my ass off. I saw that one in the theaters, but I will sit down and watch the original for sure.
Yeah, it's fun. It's fun. It's campy. It's definitely a 1978 horror movie. Yeah.
Christopher Lloyd is in the remake as well.
Really?
Yeah, from Back to the Future, and he's basically playing himself. We have to the piranhas. Oh, they're crazy, you know, like he's over exaggerating his stuff. It's really great.
The tagline for the 1978 Piranha is, "When flesh-eating piranhas are accidentally released into the summer's resort rivers." Do you really need to say flesh-eating when you
aren't they all?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
So I think this one, my number 2 killer animal movie, is the oldest of the bunch. Came out in 1963. Alfred Hitchcock's The Birds. That
was definitely on my list, when I thought, nah. It's too mainstream, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, I just don't think it gets talked about enough. I think people look at it now, like people my age, and it's like, okay, that's outdated. It's too cheesy. But I think it's really creepy. It has some really great moments. Tippi Hedren, you know, is terrific at Jessica Tandy, and I think it's a solid watch for being 1964, 1963, and I love it. So I just thought I'd throw it at number 2, and it's one of my favorites.
The scene where there's there's like an open. She's sitting somewhere, and she thinks, and then they one by one the birds come.
Yeah.
And at the top is just very
really unsettling.
Yes,
like you can see, like I've seen movies since where I'm like, oh my gosh, this reminds me of The Birds. You know, just from that scene, or the phone booth scene where apparently Alfred Hitchcock was throwing real birds at Tippi Hedren in this phone booth. Or not real birds, fake ones, sorry, but yeah, and she was
he tortured her quite often, didn't he?
He did.
Yeah.
So your number 1.
Number 1, I would say, for me, would be another one from my youth. Is Cujo. Yeah. Dee Wallace.
I can't see it, and I kept it off because I was just kind of like, you know what? It's too mainstream as well, but
yeah, it's a Saint Bernard that gets bitten by a bat and then traps the mom and the kid, who do they conveniently forget his asthma medicine? Is that the way?
That happens in so many movies. I'm starting to get. It makes me so angry
because it makes it for a better movie, I guess. If you didn't.
Yeah, exactly. Because like, we have to go back to the house.
Yeah.
Why? Anyways,
Yeah, yeah. Cujo. It's Stephen King. It's when Stephen King was it was right in his wheelhouse when he was
yeah.
putting out all the great movies that you know. And
No, this is a really good one of the best. One of the best.
yep. So that
And I love that it was a Saint Bernard too. Like something like it wasn't a Pitbull or a
Doberman or something
Doberman.
like that.
Yeah. It was, and they still made it scary.
Yeah,
Really scary.
yeah. The makeup on the dog is pretty good too. The
So
special effects are good.
you didn't have a shark movie on your list.
I did not. I stayed away from sharks.
Okay.
Um.
I have a shark movie.
Okay. I could. I'll give you mine after you give me yours.
Okay. My number one killer animal movie that I will go back to every single time, starring LL Cool J, Thomas Jane, Samuel L. Jackson, Michael Rappaport, Stellan Skarsgård, Saffron Burrows, Deep Blue Sea is one of the best shark movies from 1999. Yes. Is that the one you were going to say?
If you're going to get something closer to Jaws, Deep Blue Sea is good.
Yeah.
I was either going to go there or The Shallows.
The Shallows is
Shallows
good. I didn't love it. I need to rewatch it, but
yeah, Deep Blue Sea is more of a it's
a little bit of a guilty pleasure.
Yeah.
It's not amazing. It's not like incredible, but
it's one that if it comes on, you're gonna watch it.
Yeah.
No matter where you pick it up from.
It always came out on during Shark Week, and there's one scene involving a walkway and water rising up a tube.
Yes.
And there is a woman who gets bitten. But she might still be alive. Anyway, I'm not gonna give it's if you haven't seen Deep Blue Sea, that is it's such a great movie. And
it is.
There's a wheelchair scene that always gets me. Which isn't supposed to be funny, but is funny. Samuel L. Jackson has a great scene. This is a great movie. So
yeah, Samuel L. Jackson meeting his demise is always fantastic.
Exactly.
And LL Cool J just steals this movie.
Steals the show. I don't think he's done anything acting wise great since, but he doesn't need to. No, he doesn't need to. He literally, I think he dropped his hat. He did this and he dropped his hat and he said, "That's good." Yeah. No, I love this movie. So any also rans for you?
Yeah, just Sharknado.
I haven't seen any of them.
The first one was clever.
I will say there are 2 Deep Blue sequels. Number 2 is terrible. Number 3 is not bad.
I have not seen those.
They came out in 2018 and 2020, so like they waited a while, 20 years.
I see.
But
a lot of my also rans are shark movies.
Yeah, like Jaws.
There's one where the 2 girls get left by the boat, or the guy and the girl get left by the boat.
Oh, Open Water.
Open Water, yes, that's good. That's very good.
That freaked me out as a young kid.
The Shallows I really enjoyed.
Mm-hmm.
And
I wasn't as into it as everybody else was, but I thought it was still good.
And then
I keep yawning. Geez, sorry guys.
That's all right. It's late.
I'm a chronic yawner. It is late.
It's only 8:49 p.m.
Oh, you're 2 minutes ahead. It's 8:46 on my computer.
I got my work computer for some reason is a couple minutes ahead.
Have you seen Frozen? Not the animated Frozen, the horror movie Frozen.
No, I saw it on a couple lists though.
Yeah, so this is a movie about 3 people who get stuck on a ski lift. And I'll just say that there's wolves involved, wolves. And that's pretty creepy. And Piranha almost was going to be my number 5, but the remake, Black Sheep is a great B movie about killer sheep.
Is that David Spade and
Oh no, not that Black Sheep.
is
No,
that
this
Black
was
Sheep?
Black Sheep. Black Sheep? Yes.
And Chris Farley?
Yes, Black Sheep. Well, now I'm like, I spelled it Black Jeep.
Well, yeah. Let's see what comes up.
Yeah, 1996, Black Sheep. And then there's a horror movie called Black Sheep that is hilarious and creepy at the same time about flocks of killer sheep in New Zealand.
Well, yeah.
And then
where they all are.
Exactly.
I mean, it makes sense. Makes sense.
And then Lake Placid, and I had Crawl on my list as well.
Yeah, Lake Placid was okay for its time. Sure. I would also have 47 meters down.
Yep. The first one's good. The second one is fucking awful.
Yeah, the second one's not even. What's that? 47 meters uncaged.
Uncaged.
Like
Yeah.
I thought the first one was pretty good. It was pretty original. On a normal.
No, you know what? I actually did kind of like Uncaged a little bit. I'm thinking of The Reef. There was this movie called The Reef that came out in 2010, and it was not great. But then they made a sequel in 2022 that came out last year, and I watched it, and it's one of the worst movies I've ever seen. The Reef. It's called The Reef Stalked, and it is really bad. So,
okay. How do you feel about the Meg?
I love the Meg. I read the book actually.
Okay.
I read the whole series of books.
I enjoyed
it. But like that's a guilty pleasure. Like, I mean, I'm not gonna say to anyone like, oh my god, the Meg's amazing, but I will go see the sequel that comes out this year.
Sure. Yep.
So the last thing I'm gonna do, I have a number from Mr. Matt Stillman. Matthew R. Cheatham, I think, has already done one, but Matt Stillman was the first one to give me his number. It's 698, which I kind of thought we had already had, but I'm gonna go check. Oh, now my computer is doing something really weird. Oh, there you are. Okay. Sorry, guys. 698. Oh my god. Hide and Seek from 2005.
Robert De Niro
and Dakota Fanning. I have never seen this movie.
I have not either. But
Hide and Seek. Okay, so what's today? January 26th. Okay, so next episode I will be talking about Hide and Seek. I will have the next episode of the Film Vaulters out in a week or so. Obviously, like I said, keep your eyes on the social media, and I will try to let people know when that's coming. It's going to be every few weeks. I don't want to overtake what the Film Vault's doing, and I want this to be its own like little show that you can pop into every once in a while if you need something else to listen to. So, but we are the Hollywood Persona Podcast. Thank you, Steve, again.
No, thank you
for being here. You can find me on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at the Hollywood Persona. I'm also on Twitter at Mitchy Daily, and I have the website, the Hollywood Persona. But if you go to my Instagram and you go to my bio, all my links are in there, so you can easily find me in there. And Steve, where can they find you?
You can find me on Twitter at LionAround44, and you can catch me on the Grass is Blue podcast that I do with my best friend and his son and his stepson. We actually just did a episode where we did top 3 movie soundtracks.
Oh, okay, cool.
And one guy had Indiana Jones on there, and I was told by the musical elite today that that is considered a score and not a soundtrack. And I was like,
Oh, okay.
oh, all right.
So did you do all like was your top three all soundtracks? I haven't listened yet.
No, mine were soundtracks.
Okay,
Yeah.
so see, because scores, I mean, I understand the
Well, he's a
difference.
professional musician that tours
Oh,
all
okay.
over the world,
Yeah.
so he would know.
Yeah.
So I give him a pass. But
Yeah. Um I forget.
yeah,
Don't you love that when you just go blank? I love
sure, especially doing a podcast, it's
Yeah,
fantastic.
exactly. People love good bouts of silence.
Yes,
But anyways, thank you for listening. Sorry for the little break, but hopefully that episode of the Film Vaulters kind of appeased the listeners. We will be back next week with more movies. I'm still catching up on some Oscar stuff. Hopefully, I will have seen Women Talking by then, so I will tell you how that is, and I will see a couple more for sure. And I will watch Hide and Seek from 2005.
looks like you got to rent this one.
Oh,
Doesn't
good.
look like it's free anywhere.
I hope it's good then. All right. Anyway, everyone, thank you for listening
All right,
to the
thank you.
Hollywood Persona. Have a good night.